We start our journey in the icy waters of the North Atlantic, home to some of the world's most prized seafood. Atlantic cod is one of the most important commercial fish species in Northern Europe and North America's eastern coast. Cod fishing is an important industry in Iceland, providing a significant source of income for many communities along the coast. Every year, thousands of tons of codfish are caught off the coast of Iceland and transported across the ocean to countries worldwide. Icelandic cod fishing is a tradition that dates back over 1,000 years and is deeply intertwined with the nation's history, culture, and economy. The story of Icelandic cod fishing begins with the Norse settlers, who arrived on the island in the 9th century. These early settlers quickly discovered the abundance of cod in the cold, nutrient-rich waters surrounding the island, which would become a cornerstone of their survival and prosperity. During the Viking Age, cod was not just a vital food source, it was also a key trade commodity. The Vikings developed methods to preserve the fish by drying it on wooden racks, creating stockfish, which could last for months. This durable, preserved fish was essential for long voyages and was traded across Europe. As time passed, cod continued to play a crucial role in Iceland's economy. By the Middle Ages, Iceland had established itself as a significant exporter of cod, primarily to markets in England and Germany. The introduction of salting techniques around the 14th century revolutionized the preservation of cod, enabling it to be stored for even longer periods and increasing its value as a trade commodity. Salted cod, known as saltfish, became highly prized in Catholic Europe. The 19th century brought industrialization to Icelandic fishing, with the introduction of decked vessels and more advanced fishing gear. In the 1970s, Iceland's situation was such that fishing had come close to the cod population, which is an excellent resource for the country and important for the nation's economy. Therefore, it was decided to introduce a quota system that states how much each type of fish can be caught per year to promote sustainability and ensure that the country's natural resources are not taken too far and possibly eliminated. Scientific research and monitoring is used to determine sustainable catch limits for different fish species and have made the Icelandic fishing industry more sustainable today than decades ago. This has resulted in many things, and one of the positive things, in addition to taking care of the fish stock, is that the utilization of the fish in product is much better. Before the quota system, around 400,000 tons of codfish were caught yearly, but now 200 to 250,000 tons are caught, depending on the state of the stock. That is why getting the most value from every kilo of fish is necessary. Almost everything from the fish, whether the guts, bones, the fish itself, or the skin, is being used. Several years ago, the skin was discarded. It was not utilized. Through technological development and research, a way has been found to make cosmetics and more products from the skin, which makes the skin the most valuable part of the cod. Better use of the whole fish creates more value from fewer kilograms of cached fish. One of the most pivotal moments in Icelandic cod fishing history was the Cod Wars, a series of confrontations between Iceland and the United Kingdom during the mid-20th century. Between 1958 and 1976, these conflicts centered around Iceland's decision to extend its fishing limits from 4 nautical miles to 200 nautical miles off its coast. The Cod Wars were driven by Iceland's determination to protect its fishing grounds from overexploitation and to assert its sovereignty over its marine resources. Ultimately, Iceland emerged victorious, gaining control over its extended fishing zone, which set a precedent for modern fisheries management and international maritime law. The fishing industry can have a significant carbon footprint, and unsustainable practices can lead to overfishing and damage fragile ecosystems. Today, Iceland is one of the global leaders in sustainable fishing practices. The country's fishing industry is carefully regulated, with quotas and protected areas designed to ensure that fish stocks remain healthy for future generations. Icelandic cod is now recognised worldwide for its quality and continues to be a vital part of the nation's economy and cultural identity. The story of Icelandic cod fishing is not just a tale of survival and adaptation, but also one of innovation, resilience, and a deep respect for the natural resources that sustain the country. Icelandic fishermen and women have gone to sea for centuries to catch the yellow one, as Icelanders sometimes call the cod. The fish is caught throughout the year, mostly at depths of 100 to 250 metres and ocean temperatures of 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. The most important fishing grounds are off the southwestern coast, the West Fjords, and the southeastern coast. The Atlantic cod, Gadus mohua, is a streamlined fish with a large mouth and beard-like thread on its chin. The fish uses the barbel to search for food on the seabed. Cod's colour varies depending on age and environment, but they are often yellow-grey on the back and sides with dark spots. Young cod are reddish or brown. They like to live in kelp forests, and these colours blend well with the environment. Older cod are often yellowish-grey with dark spots on top and sides and lighter underneath. Cod has 3 dorsal fins and 2 slot fins. The ear fins are large and the streak is very distinct. Atlantic cod can grow up to approximately 120 centimeters in length and weigh around 12 kilos, but larger fish have been recorded. The common size is though around 55 to 90 centimeters. The fishing gear used to catch fish can considerably impact carbon footprint values. The bottom trawl is used to catch fish living at great depths or on the bottom of the sea. Unresponsible use of this method can cause damage to the seabed. Nets have a low environmental impact and minimal seabed interaction. The mesh size determines the size of the fish caught, which helps avoid catching too small fish. The long line has baited hooks attached to the nets to attract the targeted species. If not managed carefully, longline fisheries can have unintended interactions with non-target fish, seabirds, and other marine life. Per se seine fishing is generally considered to be an efficient form of fishing. It has no contact with the seabed and can have low levels of bycatch. Handlines are a common fishing gear for smaller boats in Iceland. They are considered to have a low carbon footprint and low bycatch. The journey of salted cod touches on all 3 pillars of sustainability. Environmentally, it's about protecting our oceans and reducing carbon footprints. Unresponsible fisheries can harm the environment and disrupt fragile ecosystems. Socially, it supports communities and preserves cultural traditions. In Iceland, it is a strong pillar in many coastal communities. Economically, it creates jobs and strengthens international ties. The export of Icelandic seafood is important for Icelanders and those countries importing Icelandic fish. This is all for part 1. When you are ready, you can continue the journey in part 2, where we will follow the processing of salted cod.